This, my friends, is going to be one of the most important whiteboard sessions that we're going to have in recent time. And it's going to be talking about the summer of 2026. This summer, 2026 is going to be known as the summer that I wish I took advantage of it. You have a lot of people that are in entertainment, in distraction, in fear, in anxiety. They're traveling. They're doing all these things that they have freedom. Oh, it's warm out. It's beautiful. My team won. Oh my gosh. And then there's other people that are in fear and data centers and resources and terafabs and trillionaires and billionaires and all this IPO that's going on. And there's a lot of people that are just in a state of confusion. They have no idea what to do. So this is really going to be a call to arms to those that do not understand AI and how powerful it is on an individual level. I'm not talking about data centers. I'm talking about on an individual level where you own the data. You could build whatever you want. Literally today, I built 2 apps that were software that I would have paid money for, one-time fee, and one was a reoccurring fee. And I said, can you build this and clone it and put it on my Mac Studio so I own it? Yes, I can. Boom. And I just started vibe coding it and now I own it. And guess what? I can now sell it. And it's not even their code at all. I customized it to the way that I want it, including my website. I have a better website. I just started adding in a new area where I can actually have a triathlon coach. I can actually have a Google Docs style. I can have a Google Calendar style. It's on my own Mac Studio. I own it. It's not on someone else's software. The reason I'm saying this actual graph, everyone has seen this before, which is this is the early adopters, and then you have the late adopters. The late adopters, they're in 2040. They're out to lunch. I had no idea. I'd never heard of AI, and now I'm in the thick of it, and my whole life is upended. 2030, I think, is when it's going to be mass adopted, and that's going to be automation, robotics. That's going to be just a very different world in which we live in right now. The S&P is going to be totally different. All the people that are IPOing now until then, they're going to push out a lot of legacy companies. A lot of legacy companies are going to be kind of squashed. And I've said this before. Right now, we're in a pinnacle. We're about 2 to 3%, 2 to 3 companies, whatever you want to say, own everything. We're going to get more of this, where it's about, say, 10 to 15% own a big chunk of everything. So as this flattens out, the amount of money that's going to be had is frightening. The amount of money that you can save is frightening. You don't need any SaaS anymore. That's crazy. Yes, if there's security that you need, yes, that I have. I pay for security because that's a big part of my, say, importance of actually having a community. I have a company, the link is down below. It's called iCharles Community, okay? Why is this summer going to be the most important summer? Because as we go up here, it's not going to be a hockey stick. Okay, it was really a hockey stick. This is 2026. Obviously, people can say, oh, it happened in 2023, 2024, things like that. I don't believe that because 2026 was a pivotal, paramount year where you could build whatever you want on your own studio or your own computer, I should say, and own the data. And then you don't need anyone else's service. You don't need anyone else's software. I literally built 2 areas within a Apple product that can be downloaded on my desktop and used like I downloaded from a professional developer. And the reason I'm saying 2026 and why you have to go full throttle is because once we hit 2027, it is going to be a game that you have no idea is, I can't even fathom what's going to be happening in 6 to 12 months from now when it's summer 2027. And I'm actually talking about, oh, remember last year when we used to blah, blah, blah. The reason I'm saying this is that you have to learn this. There is a learning curve to AI. And if you are not learning this right now, if you are not creating right now, if you're not experimenting right now, if you're just sitting there and you're questioning AI and you're saying, I don't know about this. I don't really like this. This isn't good. I'm in despair right now. I'm in fear right now. That's because they want you to be. They want you to be in fear so you don't start experimenting, so you don't start owning your own data. You don't start actually creating and experimenting and understanding, well, I could do whatever I want. Well, I could create a to-do list. I can create a triathlon coach. I could create a docs, a calendar, and I own all the data. I can create my own community. I could create that one app, that one business idea that is just going to take me to the next level that I've been always thinking about. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur or solopreneur, whatever you want to be, because what they want you to do right now is live in this world of uncertainty, and they want you to be, and I've said it many times, they want you to be distracted and entertained. And when you're distracted and entertained, it is a self-fulfilling prophecy that you go back and forth. The world in the future, there's so much money that's going to be had as this flattens out, as new companies join the S&P 500. We just had X that just raised $2.8 billion, or I'm sorry, the valuation is $2.8 billion. They just surpassed Amazon. They're now the most valuable company. Elon Musk is a trillionaire. Listen, regardless of all the politics, I posted that story and then people went into my DMs and went banana hammocks. And I said, I'm not posting that because of Elon. I'm posting that because you know how many people became millionaires because of that? Over 4,400 people became millionaires overnight because they had shares in a company. So how do you take advantage of this? There's going to be a lot of people that get laid off, okay? And essentially, there's going to be three types of people. I've said this before on other videos, but with all of this being said, you're going to have about 30% that still work for, say, the Fortune 500. We'll say the Fortune 500 or the Fortune 1000, doesn't matter. 30%, which are mid-tier, and mid-tier is probably going to be about, I don't know, 500 employees and below. And then you're going to have about 30% that are solopreneurs, say under 50. Under 50. And by the way, this could be like restaurateurs, this could be the cleaners, this could be the shoemaker, the leather maker, the person who is a seamstress, whatever. I don't know. It could be anything. But do you notice that I did 90%? 10% are going to be people who are creating something that they had no idea they were going to be creating because they took advantage of this. Who's that person? It's me. 17 years in real estate. I became a broker in 2009. I became a broker owner in 2010. And now we are in 2026, the summer of 2026. And I said, you know what I have to do? I got to go all in. I got to go all in. That's my next video, is brainstorming. If I'm going all in on this, if this is my entire life, and if I'm flipping 17 years from 2019 to 2026, over 17 years, I became a broker, which means you own the brokerage. I was an agent in 2009. I went through the 2009 crisis. I went through some inflationary period there. I went through COVID in New York City. And I said, you know what? AI is the most transformative technology I have ever encountered. And it literally is exactly what I wanted. I could build an app for the App Store. I could build an app for my Mac Studio, even if you don't sell it. You have to be creating in this summer. You have to just say, you know what I need to do? I need to put all my preconceived notions and start objectively thinking, what are some good ideas? How do I take advantage of this? You know, these are all questions. These are questions of just getting distracted and entertained, and also just disappointment or fear of what AI is. This isn't something that is pushing the data centers. I can't wait until it takes your resources and the electricity and the sound and how ugly it looks. No. This is about taking a $700 check and putting it towards Apple and saying, you know what? I'm going to be the local person who goes to all the restaurants and I help them instead of them going to OpenTable or Resi and taking all their money. I'm going to be the town entrepreneur. I'm going to be the person who connects all the sports leagues. I'm going to be the person who does the local government websites and databases. I'm going to be the person that goes around, and all the moms now have a group and they pay $5 a month, $10 a month, and they have a forum and they have a community, and it's better than Facebook, and it's safe, it's secure. And then also that connects to a calendar and a to-do list, and that also has a CRM, and that also handles their tasks, and it also has an automation when it's someone's birthday, they get a notification, a push notification. This is all thinking on the fly right now. This is all thinking on the fly. Whatever your idea, perfect example is, you know who took advantage of this? People who were already social and they got into social media creating. This is a huge step. We are in that step. That the people that were in 2000, 2001, right around there, when they started getting on TikTok and Instagram and really figuring out the algorithm, that was, say, 2020 or 2015, 2018 YouTube. AI is so early. It is so early. But you want to take that wave and be the person that people go to and be like, oh, hey, listen, I heard you created your own website. You don't need Squarespace. You don't need Wix. You don't need any of these software developments. I went on Code Canon, which is something that used PHP script. PHP script is essentially a coding language, I guess. That's how bad I am when it comes to that. I bought from Code Canon 5 pages. There's probably about 12 to 15. So I bought over 60, probably 60 to 70 scripts. Each one, some of them were up to $100. So I've spent close to $1,000, if not more, on PHP. I understand you're doing the math right now, 70 times, that's $7,000. I've spent well over $1,000, call it $2,000, $3,000 on scripts, and I had hosted on someone else's server. I had to pay them for their own server. I had to buy the script. I had to buy someone to actually, or hire someone to actually install it. I had Salesforce right before this. I probably spent $50,000 and on coders so I can actually use a customized version of Salesforce, and that started this whole thing. That's why this summer of 2026 is a summer when everyone else is at the beach, everyone else is going out and in fear, or they're online. And by the way, social media is only going up. I was actually thinking this right before the video, is we all have the 80-20 rule, Pareto's principle. I've said it before. I think it's going to be less. I think it's more 90-10, if not 95-5. You know what I see on the train? I live in a huge aquarium called New York City. New York City essentially is the best way to see people's habits, buying habits, outfit choices, how they talk, how they walk, what is going on. And I'm not talking about like day-to-day micro things. I mean on the macro. What like macro are they doing? You know what they're doing? They're staring at their device. Creating social media right now, I don't know a lot of people that I'm friends with that are even creating social media. Remember when your buddy or your girlfriend or your family would be taking photos at a wedding and posting the whole album, and then you'd scroll through that and you're like, oh, I really like that. And then your other friend posted, oh, he's in, he just did a half marathon, and this person did this, and you're going through and you're seeing all these people's. Now, obviously, they're moving into an interest-based feed. But you know what's even crazier? I looked back and I started going around my friends. They're not posting social media anymore. Like, I rarely will I get a friend or a family member posting social media. Regular people, that's what social media was for. Social media was for normal people, you and I. It was not for content creators. Social media has now gone into interest-based creators. So they found a niche. They are the cooking person who does just, say, things out of their garden. They're the cook that just does pasta. They just do even the sauce of the pasta. They've niched down so far that when someone is looking for someone who makes pasta, they're right there. Then you have like some regular followers, and that's what I'm saying is social media creating is going to be taking over. Social media creating right now, I truly believe it's close to 97.7. 3% is making 97% of all the views, likes, comments, clicks, everything like that. And I'm not talking about news. News is different, or sports is different. I'm talking about people who think of original ideas that post it on a consistent basis, whatever that is. It could be comedy, sketch comedy. It could be day in the life. It could be, look at what I just built. Look what I just made. Look what I just created. Social media creation. You got to be experimenting with AI. This summer is going to be one of the most important summers in the next 10 years because you don't want to be these people. These people are going to be crushed because they're going to get a wave that they had no idea about. They either get laid off or something happens, and they're sitting there and they're confused and they just want to get distracted and they just want to go into entertainment, and they're going to go to social media creators. So there's two areas that I recommend you get into. Number one, I've already talked about it, is AI, and number two is social media. Social media marketing. Why? It's the best way to say it is, let's go over here. Social media is about what? It's about creation. What is AI about? AI is about creating. It's a cyclical moment in time where you can be just in social media and you can be making a lot of money. You could just be in AI and you could be making a lot of money. But if you truly, truly are a solopreneur, entrepreneur, you're doing both right now. You're doing both. And you're not doing both at 100%. You're doing both at, say, okay, social media, we're going to be doing 80% right now. Okay, an hour from now, we're going to be AI an hour, 80% from here. The reason I'm saying this is you need eyeballs to go down the funnel so people pay you or you get paid. And there's tiers to this. And the more you go down, and I've talked about this in other videos, you need value. You need to provide value. And nothing is more entertaining and distracting than someone who's smart, good at social media, and knows AI right now and can explain it. They can explain it in a way that people say, okay, this is going to be mass adoption. I want to get in there before the curve hits mass adoption. I definitely don't want to be a late adopter. I don't even want to be anywhere near that when I have no idea what to do. And I'm just learning AI. I'm just learning how to create. I'm just learning about how to experiment, how to fail. Because the future is not going to be a pinnacle. The future is going to be more of this. And I know a lot of people are, they're unhappy. I understand. A lot of unhappy people out there. There's a lot of people that just want to get distracted. They want to get entertained. They want their sports, their gambling. They want to get their social media just fixed. And they're just sitting there, just scrolling through the feed. Become that creator. Become that early adopter. Become that person that's making a website, designing better, data architecture, security. It doesn't matter. The possibilities are endless. And when you're talking about massive numbers and the transformation of wealth away from the top 3, 2, 3, and it's starting to flatten out people maybe use Salesforce. Maybe they're not. That's me. People use Squarespace. Maybe they're not. That was me. Maybe they were using MailChimp. That was me. Maybe they were using a to-do list and then a CRM, and then they were using, that was me. Nothing talked to each other. And now I'm building a community of like-minded people, just speaking it into existence, just creating it into existence. And what I thought of today, I have now 3 parts, and this 3 parts to the community. And this is all about creation. You have the community aspect right now. You have the apps, which are essentially what I created. I have a dictation tool. I have a screenshot tool. And you're like, oh, those are easy. But if you took the screenshot and then you could annotate it, then you could drag it into a chat. And then you can take a screenshot of that. You can make it smaller. You can add text to it. You can then dictate. This is the dictation tool. Then you can polish up the dictation tool, make it longer, make it better. There's a lot of things. Then it could record locally, so then you could see where you are going along. And then you have the personal area. The personal area is going to be the bread and butter, where it wraps all of this into your life. That means there's a journal, there's a coach, there's someone that has your calendar, has your docs, has your email, has your workout plans, has your tasks, has your to-do list. So you go and you have one source of everything as a solopreneur entrepreneur. You have people that you can confide in about ideas or things you're thinking about. You have apps that you could be using that are all free to the community. And then you have the personal area, which is all by yourself. And you're saying, listen, something I just thought of right now, goals. I don't even have a goals area. I don't know why I don't have a goals area. I should have a goals area of what is your BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal? What's your BHAG? I didn't coin that, someone else did. That's on the fly. That's on the fly of thinking, of brainstorming, of bringing up ideas, because this summer of 2026 is going to be a lot of money flattening out from the top companies down to a little less, and you need to be taking advantage of it. You got to be an early adopter. So if you like this video, we're going to be doing one right after this on how am I going to be taking advantage of 2026. What are the methods that I'm going to be doing it? And I'm going to turn it maybe from a whiteboard into a brainstorming session where I brainstorm. I have an ideas of how I'm going to be doing that. But I was rolling about 2019. I was on fire. And now I'm feeling it again. And that's not good news for anybody. Okay? Because when I'm rolling, I'm thinking of ideas. This connects with this. This is a smart idea. This is good content. This is for Instagram. This is for YouTube. This is for the website. This is an app idea. So if you want to follow on for the journey, subscribe. Obviously, leave your comments below, and I will get you on the next one. And definitely check out the brainstorming of how I'm going to be taking advantage of summer of 2026. Have a great day.